Here, we're going on a national bikini tour, and we need a couple of oil boys to grease us up for each competition. Do you know where we could find any? You're in luck.
Look, there's a town about 5 miles that way. I'm sure you can find somebody.
Okay, then.
Wait! Do you realize what you've done? Wait! You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow. The town is back that way.
Wow. Two guys are going to be spending all their time with those girls for the next couple of months. Yeah. Don't worry. We'll get our opportunity. We just got to keep our eyes open. Yeah.
You're it.
And with that, we are live on Bump That episode 27. My goodness, what an opening. If nobody knows where that is from, that is actually the ending to Dumb and Dumber. And it is the greatest ending to any movie. Too funny.
It's the most frustrating because you know it's going to happen every single time. And yet, you just hope that when it comes to that part, they just decide to go with them, but it never happens.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
Bunch of actually like Dumb and Dumber, just a bunch of morons, you know, as the name implies. Anyways, thank you so much for coming back. We took last week off.
Yeah.
And now we're back.
Hey, let me say, Brian, I am so jealous of your vacation. It looked just so much fun. It looked like you guys went out and did a lot of things, and so I'm really, really happy for you
Big
guys.
brother, where did you go?
Oh, so me and the fam went to South Dakota and Wyoming. We saw a lot of the great national parks that make up America. The Badlands, Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower. We hiked almost 45 miles.
All
total.
just in time for the 4th of July, where we celebrate our independence.
Well, hey, that kid Katie, though, she had a heck of a time in Florida with the family there. Good for you, kid. Getting some sun. Yeah.
To add to her more freckles. Katie is covered in
Yeah.
freckles, and she just keeps gaining more of them.
It's true.
Beach bumming, bro.
Well, I
Oh
will
my
say
gosh.
I went on a vacation, and I've come back.
Yeah.
And that is that. Anyways, I went to work last week, and I worked my butt off, and I got paid and did not take a vacation. Still salty about it. Anyways, we are going to go ahead and jump right into the news. Brian, how do you pronounce this guy's name? John Lithgow?
What? John Lithgow? John Lithgow? Listen, John Lithgow is one of the most underrated American actors that we have. Completely criminally underrated. Lord Farquaad, anybody? Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, so if you guys are a fan of the show Dexter, that was on Showtime, you would know that John Lithgow, the Trinity Killer, was one of the best villains of that show. With the revival of Dexter that's going to be coming out this fall, John Lithgow is going to be resuming his role as the Trinity Killer. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Dexter. It is the first few seasons are outstanding television. However, the ending of the original series had one of the worst endings of any TV show ever. Period. It was
Yikes.
so bad. No, it was worse than The Sopranos, worse than anything. It was god awful. That's one reason why they're reviving the show, and I'm excited. I can't. If you like a good serial killer show, Dexter is probably top 3 all time.
Hopefully it's not redeemed like that Rugrats reboot. Yikes. Not redeemed at all.
No.
It looked terrible. Yikes.
No.
But
don't
one
do
can
that
hope
here.
that the Dexter reboot or revival is 10 times better than that.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yes. Next on your list was Fast and Furious 9. How are they still making these movies?
They're just cranking them out. I heard the next one, they're going under the ocean, under the sea. Or in the sea, in the ocean, in the ocean. Or they're going to space.
Can I say where that reference is from? I know.
Yes.
Dinosaur.
No, incorrect.
It's under the water. That's under the water.
No, my reference was in the sea. No, in the ocean. In the ocean, which is from Tiny Toon Adventures, How I Spent My Summer Vacation.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
You guys
man.
and your obscure references. Tiny Toons, Dinosaur.
Pause.
90s kids.
Tiny Toons Adventures, How I Spent My Summer Vacation has one of the greatest laughs of all time. And it's a specific one. It's Buster and Babs are having a water gun fight. And Babs loses her mind because Buster is getting the best of her. And so she goes to a dam and releases the water. She's like, water! Like, she's just going
my
nuts.
gosh.
Like,
That's Tress McNeil, one of the greatest voice actors of all time.
It was brilliant. And it's one of those things that, I don't know, it just sort of stuck in my mind. So what?
Anyways,
I was gonna say, weren't we talking about Fast and Furious 9?
Fast and Furious 9.
I didn't get on Tiny Toons.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Vin Diesel laugh like that. Family. Anyways, that show, that franchise just won't quit. This past weekend, it made $70 million. It's the biggest box office pandemic film, pandemic era film. So people are still gonna go see this movie. When Fast Furious 10 comes out, it's still gonna make. It'll probably make more than 70 million, guaranteed. I guarantee you, when the next one comes out, post pandemic, it'll make 100 million easily opening weekend. You know. You can quote me on that. Guaranteed.
There's a new Aquaman movie coming out, isn't there? Or is it just rumored, or?
Oh yeah, that's just started filming.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Your guy Momoa is starting.
Yeah, Jason Momoa coming back for another film. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, I wanted to sort of twist your ear a little bit. What is it? Anyway, whatever the phrase is. Did you hear about Harrison Ford being injured on the job?
Oh my gosh, no way.
So what? He got injured on Force Awakens too.
Oh,
he
no.
broke his leg.
I'm just saying, like, it's sad.
He's an old man, and they're making him do these movies still. He's old. That man's ancient.
That's why you know it's gonna be good. He's doing most of his own stunts, so it's just gonna be.
Man's gonna break his back for the films.
It must have been pretty bad, though, because they had to shut down shooting for a while. So, I don't know, it just makes me sad.
Now they're going to replace him with Tom, what's that guy's name? The one Tom that we don't like.
Tom Holland?
They're going to replace him with Tom Holland instead.
Yeah, right.
Something bad's going to happen to Harrison Ford. They'll be like, just put Tom Holland in.
They'll still keep filming. They'll do a lot of, second crew shots and a lot of those kind of things. They can use the other cast members and film their stuff too, so they're just gonna crank that sucker out. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We are all looking forward to it. What nobody's looking forward to.
Oh, by the way, really quick,
what?
I just saw today that the Temple of Doom original Indiana Jones hat. Guess how much that went up for at auction?
Surprise me.
It sold today.
$50,000.
100,000.
Higher.
Oh.
Higher.
250,000.
Higher.
Really?
Yes.
400,000.
$300,000
Oh
for the original Harrison Ford Indiana Jones fedora from Temple of Doom.
And that's like Temple of Doom movie. That's like bottom tier.
It's a hat.
It's not bottom tier. I'm sick of you guys saying bottom tier.
Hear me out.
It is still a great movie.
I know. I love that movie. I love it. But when you hold it up between 1 and 3, it's a little lesser. Not
you know
saying
what?
it's
I
bad.
don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore.
I feel like you're very wrong.
Those movies are almost immaculate.
Hey,
Matt
Temple of Doom is my
Mott.
favorite out of all three, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I love the film, but
No,
overall,
no, no.
gonna-
You're done talking.
Oh,
You're
okay.
done
Temple
talking.
of Doom is probably the most funniest one out of all of them.
It is. It truly is. I will not argue that. It
Because
truly
you have
is.
Goonies kid in it. He makes the whole movie.
Okay.
And whatever her face is,
Dr.
Winnie.
Jones, no time for love.
Why was he suddenly German?
What was her name? Winnie? Did they call her Winnie?
Willie.
Willie, that
Willie.
was it.
Willie Scott.
We are going to die. That's one of the greatest
Oh my
lines.
gosh, I've suddenly triggered you guys. Oh my lord.
Because I'm sick and tired of people saying that
Oh!
Temple of Doom is racist and that it's not that good.
That.
I'm glad.
Say
You
that
better
at all.
not. Because listen, I'm sick of people saying trashing the Indiana Jones movies, like the other two that aren't as good as the other two, like they don't belong. You know, I'm sick of people trashing them.
He's sick and tired.
20 years ago,
mean,
everybody
God.
loved that movie. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, chilled monkey brains, hilarious." Okay, and now all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh, it's racist. It's
Oh, I
too
know.
dark."
I know.
You know, all
But
these things.
it's
Trust
a
me,
bunch of
trust me.
soft bread people. Soft baked cookies.
With my buddies in college, we would go up to each other and go Kalima, you know, just
Yes.
joking around like that. So I have no ill will against this film at all.
Soft baked cookie people.
Yeah, quit being ridiculous.
They're all squishy.
Anyways, more news.
What else are we talking about?
I was gonna say what nobody is really talking about or excited for, but it's in the news. NBC is planning on Annie Live.
Yeah,
Hooray.
so just like a lot of the network TV shows, they did like Sound of Music
I
live.
will say that was a good one.
They did Peter Pan live. They did a few other. They did Grease live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a few of them.
Did
So
they
they're doing
do-
Annie live.
Did
now.
they do Wizard of Oz live? I'm pretty sure they did that one live.
Oh gosh, don't touch that one, please.
Oh.
Don't touch Wizard of
Oh.
Oz.
Oh, Brian has some feelings about Wizard of Oz because he played it in high school. He was
But
the gatekeeper.
Wizard of Oz is still the greatest movie of all time. Period. Fight me on it. It's the greatest movie of all time.
Anyways, Annie Live though. They are looking for new Annie out
So
there.
they're gonna be. So there's a nationwide search for the next Annie. I don't know if they're looking for a redheaded girl, little redhead girl that will steal all our hearts, or if they're just gonna get like, who's that little blonde lady that did Wicked? They'll probably get her to be Annie. You know?
It's not Kristen Chenoweth, is it?
Yeah, they'll probably get Kristen Chenoweth to be Annie, since she's got a little high voice and she's tiny.
She's like 60 years old.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, perfect for Annie.
Can you imagine Kristen Chenoweth as Annie? The sun will
60-year-old
come out
Listen.
tomorrow. Bet
You were
your
so
bottom
wrong.
dollar
She's
that
52.
tomorrow-
How dare you?
Oh, okay, pardon me. Yeah, 52 orphan Annie. 52-year-old orphan Annie.
And in addition, they got Taraji P. Henson as Miss Hannigan. Little girls, little girls.
You know, it's kind of
everywhere.
controversial,
And
but
there's
I like him.
little.
Wait. Am I? I don't think I'm thinking of the right person. I'm
Taraji
not
P.
think-
Henson is the gal that was in Hidden Figures, that movie you guys
That's right.
really like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking of someone else, so I'm sorry. But yeah, that's a great choice.
And then
Great.
your guy Harry Connick Jr. is gonna be Daddy Warbucks. So he's gonna shave his head or wear a bald cap. So yeah.
So
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
something for the family to watch, I guess.
yeah, I liked watching those live performances on NBC. I don't have live television anymore, but I'm sure I'll see some clips of it on YouTube whenever it finally airs.
Get Hulu, bro, and just watch it the next day.
I had Hulu and I didn't watch anything on it, so I canceled it. And that's out on that. Katie, hit us with that sweet thing.
Yo, I got a twofer for you.
Oh,
good. Well, dang, it's from the same place too. Oh my god. We were actually supposed to record yesterday, and Ileana bailed, and I was like, oh no, I have to wait another day to eat these. So, I went to a place called Nothing Bunt Cakes in Cumming, Georgia, and I got a red velvet cake as well as a blueberry cake. They sell these little individual little cakes, and they're really cute. I got this blueberry one because it's one of their limited time ones. So I'm gonna take just a bite of this one. It's got a lot of icing on top, but it looks very pretty. It's kind of dense. Doesn't look like there are many blueberries in it, but here we go. So it definitely has a blueberry flavor, but no, from that bite, there weren't any actual blueberries in it. So I'm a little disappointed about that. But that's still a dangerously good cake. That is thick.
Need a tall glass of milk to go with that.
I do. And then I have this red velvet cake. I'm not a huge fan of red velvet. I bought it mostly for Wesley, but I thought I would taste it too. Let's see what we got. Okay. That is a very good cake. Both of these cakes are really, really good. If I didn't think that they had like 2 billion calories each bite, then I would eat both of those in an instant. But there you go. That is Nothing Bunt Cakes incoming. They've got a large assortment, so stop on by if you want. Eat local.
Get some cake! Get some cake!
Yo! Nothing Bunt Cakes isn't really local because they're like a chain.
Yeah, I kind of thought they were a chain. Yeah, I thought so.
I had no idea. I've never heard of them, but oh well, I had good cake.
She had good cake. Eat local. Guys, eat local. Oh my gosh.
Still eat local. Oh my gosh. Just eat your cake.
So, on animation with Ileana, we are looking at the Netflix movie film that came out. It's a Chinese film, but also has English voice actors. You can choose either or. It is The Wish Dragon on Netflix. It is a family-friendly film, and it was super cute, very adorable. It is, think of your Asian version of Aladdin, but with not so Aladdin-y. Like, it has the same idea with, oh, here's a teapot, and out comes a dragon, and he's going to make your 3 wishes. What are you going to do with them? And it follows the story of a small town boy who is poor, who fell, not in love, but like had a good friendship that you kind of might think is love. Who knows? There's not really any interpretation there. With this girl who disappeared and his friendship had to move away. And she became rich, and he misses her, and he wants to go see her again. So he has the teapot, he wishes upon it to go see the girl, and you follow that story from there. In box office, it's made $21.1 million already, and I think that's pretty dang good for a film that not many people are talking about, unfortunately. It was a really good film. Jackie Chan helped produce this film, so, I mean, you can't go wrong with Jackie Chan, so there you go. Go check out The Wish Dragon on Netflix. Go give it a watch. It really is good. I was chuckling. I was laughing. I had a good time. And that's that with that.
Hey, I'm Bimmy.
Anyways, this awkward silence has gone in too long. Brian is just staring at me. We are now into the chunk, the meat and potatoes of the podcast. We are talking...
The chunk.
We are talking Luca. Luca is now on Disney Plus for free if you have a subscription. Luca is a Pixar film that just recently released. And what are your thoughts? Initial thoughts on the film?
Yeah, what are the positives? What are your guys' positives on it?
I thought it was well made. It was a very good movie. It was very simple, which I had a realization the other day that not all Pixar films need to be Finding Nemo. Not all Pixar films need to be Up or Coco or just these.
You're saying they don't need to have that that mountain to climb.
Exactly. In fact, I would prefer to, I would almost prefer an easy to watch film like this where it's fun and enjoyable and you enjoy all the characters. There weren't any characters that I disliked. You still have the antagonist, which of course he's supposed to get on your nerves.
Ercole!
Yeah, and he gets on your nerves, but in the end, spoilers, he gets his comeuppance, kind of, I guess. Not even really.
Just barely.
Yeah, it's not even really. But it's an enjoyable story. It's fun. The scenery is quite beautiful.
It's such a colorful film. It was so childlike in a way, and I really enjoyed that. I feel like I haven't really gotten that from a Pixar film in a long time, or a Disney film, honestly, of this is like childlike. This is the mind of two children and, their adventures that they're going on. And I don't know, I really enjoyed sitting down and watching that and not having to think so hard of what's going to happen. It was so simple. The plot was from A to B, there wasn't any shockers or anything like that. So
I will say I was watching this with Ileana. There was one thing where both of us
we loudly gasped. We were like, "No, Luca!" And if you've seen the film, you know exactly what scene we're talking about.
And truly, it wasn't really anything huge.
No,
but it was like, why would you do that? Oh no.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
But going back to just visuals and the animation, you can really tell that Pixar has stepped up their animation game. It has tremendously gone up, and you can tell that the animators and the creators behind this movie
have they?
I think so. I think they had a lot of fun with this, and that detail wise, it has spiked.
I'm gonna politely disagree. I feel that. Well, I love the film. I think the film is great. It's not top tier Pixar, but it's still, like you guys said, an enjoyable, simple ride. But I feel that, and we can also get into this a little bit later. But I feel like the old guard has changed. It's the next generation of Pixar filmmakers and artists and animators, and I feel that level of care for the animation is, I thought the animation was great, but it's still not that crispness that we've even had in Toy Story 4, where I feel like it was just just pure. The animation was just pure and
could you maybe
so
chalk
detailed.
That up? Could you maybe chalk that up to the different style of animation, like more Aardman?
You see, and that's what also I'm thinking too, because is this going to be what Pixar we're going to expect from Pixar now? Is this level of you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I thought I backed out. So, is this going to be the level of animation we're going to be getting from Pixar? Kind of that Aardman style. I thought the animation was so round. There weren't a lot of edges or
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Sharpness in the animation. Everything was really soft, which is nice for a children's film. And with the level yawning, oh my goodness, what the heck, kid?
I'm listening to you.
Did Ileana just yawn?
I'm listening to you.
Literally, people are going to be hearing this. They're going to be here all of a sudden.
Yawn.
No, I understand what you're trying to say. It does have a Aardman, Sony, DreamWorks feel. It doesn't feel very Pixar-y, but I think the heart behind it is Pixar-y. Do you know what I mean?
The storytelling, the script is Pixar all the way. But even if you look at their next film that they have coming out, the Red Panda film, if you look at the trailers and the images, stills from that movie, it has the same animation style where again it's very soft, everything's really rounded.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it. I would say it's not, Ratatouille, where everything looks kind of grim and, oh, we're in Paris and you're in a kitchen and it's all just metal and cold. I don't know. They kind of made this movie, and maybe Red Panda too, feel really warm and inviting with like the fuzziness and kind of, soft round edges and everything like that. So I'm not totally opposed to it. It does not seem as Pixar-y as before, but I mean, this is just not the style that they're going for like they did in the past.
So yeah, I think it's we're so used to the Andrew Stanton, the Pete Docter, the Lee Unkrich style that we all grew up on since 1995 and even before that. Even the short films. So it's almost kind of a new. It's refreshing, but it's also kind of something interesting and new. And I hate to say interesting, but it's a new perspective. That's a better word. It's a new perspective that I am looking forward to seeing more of. But I also am missing that sharpness from the old Pixar. Yep.
I don't think that it's going to become the norm. Maybe Luca and Turning Red, that's that Red Panda movie. I think they both are going to have that fuzziness where you also have that jelly bean sort of shaped mouth and head.
It was so cute. I loved it.
But if you go back to Soul, I mean, that movie was very well polished when it comes to scenario, but it also
You are right. Yes. Yeah, I agree.
It also the shape of the people in Soul really bothered me, and I hate to sort of go back to that one, but it's a movie that came out right before Luca, and so you have this jelly bean shaped head for Joe. It's not even a jelly bean. It's more like a gourd, almost like a, I don't know. It's just a weird shaped head,
like the squash from VeggieTales.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or just a squash.
No, specifically from VeggieTales.
Oh, okay. Pardon me. And so, you still have these different shapes when it comes to people, which is a little weird. But when it comes to the actual scenery, that was very crisp and shiny and gritty in some places. So, it's a contrast from Luca, definitely.
No, I even had that same issue with Incredibles 2, with how they had these new superheroes. It was so jarring compared to, the Parr family. And I know we're talking about Luca, but, we're kind of making these comparisons and contrasts to Luca.
For the audience, too, I think this is a big turning point for Pixar. Again, this is a film that wasn't released theatrically. It did not have it. And usually Pixar, they kill in theaters, So again, I feel this is a turning point for them. I know that we're hearing that their films from now on will be released theatrically. But, you can't watch a Pixar film without looking back at the other films and going back to what you love. It's just the way. So, I mean, going back to, like, Incredibles 2 or Soul, you can't help but, like, especially if you're a fan, to, pick and choose the different art styles.
And I think this kind of goes tied in with The Good Dinosaur, as in, like, the story was okay. And same with Luca. The story was okay. It really didn't go anywhere. It was from A to B. And you look at the scenery, though, in The Good Dinosaur, and you're like, how is this animated? It looked completely real. And then you look at Luca, and you see the water of how crisp and how, like, colorful everything is. And it doesn't look real, but it looks real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know. Oh, I know what you mean, Mr. Krabs.
So I don't know. That's just how I've taken a look at Luca this whole time. I think it's a very beautiful film. It's nothing to, like, wow about, rave about. But it was good for the whole family to sit down and watch. And like you said, it was refreshing, like a nice summer kid movie. I liked it.
Yeah. And if you look ahead at what's coming up even after, Turning Red, you have the Buzz Lightyear film.
Yes, that I am excited about. I heard people were
Yeah.
like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, yes, do it.
You know, at first I was like, whoa.
I
wait,
remember your reaction.
No, don't do it. But when I actually understood what was going on, then I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
Well, I could get down behind this.
I can. It sounds really interesting. So I think even after that, after Turning Red, when we see this Buzz Lightyear film, I think we're going to see something very, very different. Because if you think about it, we're not looking at a toy anymore. We're looking at an actual astronaut. As far as I understand, we're looking at an actual astronaut, which means we're going to be. I'm picturing like Metroid kind of thing. Maybe not scary like Metroid, but
that's an interesting
cool.
thing that you just mentioned was toy, and Pixar has done that a lot where they're like, okay, we're going to, kind of do maybe the Disney thing and cash in a little bit on toy marketing, and we're going to do the Buzz Lightyears, the Woody dolls, the Jessies, so on. And lately with these movies, they haven't really been doing that. I think the last one that I've really seen.
I think Katie means though that the movie's going to be more realistic.
No, I
Yeah.
agree, but I'm just saying that the movies progressing on lately have not been very like, this is going to sell. Kids are going to buy this and eat this up. Kind of like, okay, who wants a Wall-E doll? I don't know how many people want a Wall-E doll.
I'm glad you put that up, because I feel like if you watch like the first 10 minutes of Wall-E, it's a very gritty film.
Yeah.
It's the apocalyptic film, and I'm wondering if that's kind of the aesthetic that maybe Buzz Lightyear Infinity.
I would like that. I would like another kind of gritty, cold film.
That's very sleek in a lot of points because it's a sci-fi film. But then, it's supposed to be it would be a sci-fi action film. That'd be my guess. So,
But even going back to the toys or anything, I think the last real good Pixar movie that had the opportunity to sell toys or merchandise like that was probably Inside Out. Or maybe Coco. I wouldn't buy anything really from Coco, but...
I have a Dante plushie.
You're the only one.
But, no, I bet you could... Even with Luca, I bet you could get little boys to buy, oh my gosh, the two little boys on
Luca
the bus
and
stop.
Alberto.
Yeah, and have it sort of like an RC kind of thing. You could do that.
We
Maybe. I
went
don't
to
know.
McDonald's, and for the Happy Meal, the girls got the Luca toy that swims in the water. That's a sea monster, and his tail swims, so you can put him in the water and he swims. I mean,
that was another thing though.
Cool.
The animation changed from human to fish back and forth. Those transformations were so good. If you stop and look at those stills, oh my gosh, I cannot even think about, what they had to go through to animate that.
It looked as though they were slapping paint on each other. Like, imagine my hand was wet and I just slapped you in the face. It'd be like just smacking somebody with paint.
I loved that whole concept. It was very cute.
And I want to talk about the characters a little bit. I feel like while the story doesn't blow you away, I feel that the level of care though, and level that the filmmakers put into making these characters seem as real as possible is what, at the end of the day, Alberto and Luca and Julia, they seemed like a kid you knew growing up.
Yeah, like real kids from the neighborhood. Even, Chicho and Guido and Ercole.
And it's like Julia, like, I want to be that girl's friend. I want to hang out with Julia because that girl is fun and spunky and super smart and a kid that would always have your back, and I really like that about that character.
And the mom and dad character and Uncle Ugo, who was like your crazy uncle that no one talks about.
I knew immediately that was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys caught that. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
Mom knew right away. She was like, "Oh, is that guy?"
No. I said that was who it was. She said, "Oh, I wish you didn't tell me that."
Oh, that's what it was. That's what she said. She was like, "No."
No, but going back to Julia, she broke my heart when she said something. It was something to the effect of, "You think I want to leave you, or you think I want you to go?
This is the best summer I've ever had," or some she almost finished that sentence.
Like, oh my gosh, what a cool girl.
Yeah.
And now I'm like hooked on seeing like Santo Gorgonzola, you know.
They're so good. And her dad character was whenever
awesome.
Alberto, swam away. That was so
now
touching.
when I think about it now, doesn't Julia's dad resemble Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs' dad?
Yes.
I just realized that.
Not only that,
and he's a fisherman with the eyebrows. What the heck?
Not
Pixar?
only that,
Come on,
well,
you're better than that.
Not only that, but the people that made this movie also made a Pixar short. I can't remember what it was, but it was a little boy, a dad, and a grandpa that went fishing for the stars.
Stars, yeah, I remember that one.
And he looked exactly like that too, like exact
Really?
same thing. Well, they're the same people that made it too, so
yeah.
maybe there's a type of man that exists in the world that looks exactly like that.
If you're a fisherman, you have to be a big dude with bald head and really bushy eyebrows.
Missing
that
an
nobody
arm?
can see your eyes.
Unibrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved
very
that
stoic.
line. I came. He's like, "A sea monster ate it." No, I'm kidding. I was born into into the world this way. That was sweet.
So what did you guys think about Alberto?
I liked him a lot. I thought his character was super fun.
I think he's one of the most in-depth characters they've done in a long time. Yeah. I really that character has so many levels, like an onion. Like
the way they animated his mouth was so funny. Like the way his tongue would just kind of stick out of his mouth, like circle mouth and tongue like hanging out after he would speak was so funny. They just made him kind of.
I'm pretty much.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and just so sassy sometimes. I really really loved his character. They didn't even go fully in depth with what he said about his dad. That was like bare bones, but you could see it still hurt him so much.
Absolutely. I wish that I would love to watch this film with the director's commentary on, because I feel that this is truly a love letter from the director. Let me grab the director's name. Enrico Casarosa.
Mm-hmm.
So,
a love letter in what sense? What do you mean? Like to Italian culture or?
Yeah, if you've read some interviews, this is how he spent some of his summer years, on a Italian countryside, goofing off with the boys that boys do, doing dumb things, getting into shenanigans.
Trying to get a Vespa.
Yeah, so it's totally taken from his memories and translated into this, fable, this tale. And it's done, that is done so well.
Yeah, no, I thought so completely. It was really.
I think Katie
done.
had something she wanted to explode.
Well, I was thinking about just this theory that literally popped in my head. What if his dad didn't run away, but he was discovered as being a sea monster and he was murdered?
I think they would have said something. They would have been like a trophy.
No, and that's where I think that was really interesting, where they just kind of laid it like that, maybe to let you contemplate some more of what did happen to his dad. Where'd he go? You don't know. And it's just something to ponder on later on. Hopefully in a podcast, maybe called Bump That. I don't know.
Never heard of it. So it was also a little interesting to me when he actually got jealous of Julia and Luca, and it was just like on a dime. I was like, oh my.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Some criticisms that came out was that while these were two little boys, people thought it was more than just a platonic friendship, and that
Oh
Pixar
man,
was
are we
trying.
getting into that?
I don't want to get into that.
I don't want to get in too far deep, but I just will say there were some criticisms that it was more than just a platonic, and Pixar was too afraid to dip their toes.
I'm just gonna say
hockey.
I just want to say I have no criticism about that. They can do whatever they want, and they didn't choose to do that.
They did it in Onward. They had
Yeah.
Pixar
they
can
did.
do whatever they want. They don't have to make everybody happy.
They had no
they're telling
problem
the story. That's
pulling
all
the
I'm gonna
trigger on that one and saying, this girl had a girlfriend in Onward. But people were like, oh, are they being like too shy to do that in Luca? And it was like, oh, come on. It's just two little boys having fun.
Yeah, and that sort of goes into the idea of you can draw your own conclusions. If you want to see it that way, you're welcome to see it that way. If you want to see it as two little boys literally acting as little boys, getting jealous of, suddenly there's a girl in the mix that's being all guapita, So, you can look at it that way if you want to. So, to each his own.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that one in there because that was a criticism that I heard coming up, and I was like, oh, people, stop reading so much into it, you and your agenda.
They're the same people that have a problem with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
What, wasn't it you? Don't you have a problem?
No, it wasn't!
Do you think it's a racist film? Do you think this is okay? Okay behavior?
Hey, so what do you... If anything, do you guys have any criticisms of the film itself other than
pacing a little bit?
Yeah. I would say we didn't spend enough time in the water. Excuse me, I'm choking on my spit. We didn't get a whole lot of time to actually see what Luca's environment was like. We had little things here and there with the little sheepfish.
Oh, that was such a cute scene. Just introduction.
It was awesome. It was awesome, and I would have loved to have seen more of that. Why are they using these sheepfish? What is their purpose? What are the other neighbors doing?
I would have loved to have seen more of Jim Gaffigan and Maya Rudolph and the parents' relationship. Yeah. I feel like it was so surface level, at least that portion. I would have, the dad just seemed to be there. He was just like an Eggman.
Yeah. The mother and her dolphin impression. That was so good.
Why was Maya Rudolph so upset with the other lady? Why was she so jealous? What's her name is blah 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 blah.
I do think they could have fleshed out the underwater area some more, or even just more of why is Hercule such a butthole? Just some more.
Yeah.
More sustenance, I'd say. The pacing was just bam, 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 we're at this new place, bam, we're over here, bam.
And I agree with Brian. I think more of the parents would have been good, especially when you have two lines of dialogue that go something like, do you think there's something wrong with Luca? No, I'm not hungry, dear.
That was so good. That was so funny.
That was great. But then you don't really have any kind of development with the parents, between the parents and Luca either. They're just like, oh my god, we should live.
Or even the uncle. He literally came and went. You saw him in the one scene and didn't have to wait till after the credits to see him again. And he even...
I didn't even see that part.
Go back and watch it. It was so funny.
I gotta watch that.
He was talking about the whale parts again and how they just float into your mouth and you can't help it. They're just go in there. That was so good. You can't really help it. It just happens. He just kept rambling. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, overall, I think it was just a good movie. Nothing to, make you cry. Nothing to really, grip your heartstrings or whatever. But it was just a fun film.
I probably got a little choked up, a wee bit choked up when Alberto is running
at the train.
At the train.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh man,
I'm only human, Harry.
I thought that was very touching. I wasn't gonna cry and sob about it like when Woody has to say goodbye to Buzz. It wasn't like that.
Here's the thing. These are boys. Boys aren't gonna sob about saying goodbye to a friend.
Yeah.
They're gonna. try to be tough. Hold that in. You know.
And he was so excited for him.
You know what? But best friends like that, you want the best for your friend. You know, your best friend. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna be like, go. You know, I'll see you in the holidays. You know.
Yeah, that was sweet. I had one last criticism. I think everybody has this criticism. Why did a sea monster hunting town accept the sea monsters so quickly? They're just like, oh yeah, okay, well I guess we like them now.
It's because Big Fisherman Man was like,
but they never showed, like, oh, he's a respectable man in the village. Like, no one ever saw any sign of that. He was just a man in the village.
Are you gonna stand up to a guy with one arm? Are you gonna tell him no?
Yeah, I would.
Stone him! Stone him!
Oh my gosh.
Stone him!
That's my last criticism, is they were so quick to accept the sea monsters in a sea monster hunting village.
So here's the final question then. Luca, is it a top 10 Pixar film?
No.
I would say I would put it around the same place that I would put Cars in ranking.
I would put it around Onward. They have the same type of feel for me.
I like that comparison.
Like, Onward is, you know, brother, and these are two little boys who are best friends who go on an adventure, you know, same type of idea. And, you know, they've got some quest to do, and that's exactly, like, the same idea. So I would put Luca up with Onward.
I like that. Yeah, I'm going to go with that, too.
So that's solid upper middle tier.
Yeah. It's not bottom tier, like, near Good Dinosaur. Good heavens, no. Good Dinosaur is trash. And it's definitely nowhere near Cars 2. No, literal garbage.
Oh no,
garbage.
Cars 2 is like on its own different list.
No. So if that gives you any indication, and if you've seen Onward, Luca's around the same area for me.
Luca, go check it out, Disney Plus.
And that is that on Bump That. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Next week, we are going to be playing a game. We're going to be Disney, Pixar.
Oh, wait. Everybody, I'm going to do it, Ileana.
Yeah, sometimes I get sleepy, all right? I work with toddlers all day. Next week is Pixar Disney hypothetical game. Check out the next week's video. We can't wait to see you there. Oh, yes, would you rather? Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Leave a comment if you have seen Luca and what you thought about it. Leave a like or a dislike. Any interaction helps us. And
if
subscribe.
you think that we're full of crap and we just, it's the greatest movie that you've ever seen, then call us out on it, man. Just tell us in the comments.
It's your
opinion. Give us a thumbs down.
You're entitled to your opinion. If you think Cars 2 deserves the #1 spot, man, tell us.
Tell
us.
Because there's a town about 10 miles down that way where you can really find some.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.